According to the ancient Greek philosopher Plato, true self-discipline lies in exercising our reasoning faculties, thinking critically, relying on our inner strength, and harnessing the power of will. In his dialogue Phaedrus, Plato presents a vivid allegory to illustrate the three fundamental components of the human soul. He imagines the soul as a chariot being driven through the heavens. The charioteer, symbolizing reason, must control two winged horses that pull the chariot in opposite directions. The first horse, noble and well-formed, is described as white in color, with a high neck and dark eyes, representing qualities such as honor, modesty, and temperance. The second horse, by contrast, is dark, unruly, and ill-proportioned, symbolizing impulsiveness, pride, and indulgence. Plato's tripartite soul. Plato uses this allegory to explain the three parts of the human soul. Reason, logos, represented by the charioteer. It is the rational, thinking part of the soul. It seeks truth, wisdom, and the good. Spirit, thumos, represented by the noble white horse. It is the source of courage, ambition, and the drive for recognition. Appetite, epithumia, represented by the unruly black horse. It encompasses bodily desires and the pursuit of pleasure and gratification. Plato argued that a well-ordered soul is one in which reason rules, supported by spirit, while appetite is guided and restrained. Moral character and a disciplined life, he believed, depend on achieving this inner harmony. This framework is central to Platonic idealism, and it offers a timeless lens through which to understand self-mastery. In this exploration, we delve into two core principles of self-discipline inspired by Plato. 1. Practice the art of measurement. Plato once said, "Pleasure is the greatest incentive to evil." In his view, a lack of discipline occurs when desire, appetite, overrides reason, leading us to make poor decisions. For example, imagine you're debating whether to have another drink. If appetite takes control, prioritizing the immediate pleasure over the rational concern for your health or well-being, you may regret the choice. Plato warns that such desires often distort our perception, making things seem better than they truly are. He referred to these pleasures as deceivers, likening them to optical illusions, enticing in appearance, yet ultimately unfulfilling or harmful. To counteract this, Plato proposed what he called the art of measurement. This practice involves assessing desires and actions not by their immediate pleasure, but by their long-term impact on our lives. The art of measurement requires 3 steps. Pause before acting on a desire. Stop and reflect. Evaluate. Consider whether this action aligns with your long-term goals. Decide. Choose what contributes to lasting fulfillment rather than temporary satisfaction. For instance, during the holiday season, many people indulge in junk food. While it offers short-term gratification, the long-term consequences, such as health issues or guilt, can outweigh the momentary pleasure. Plato's advice is to cultivate the habit of reflecting in the moment, asking, "Does this action support my greater well-being?" But this concept extends beyond physical habits. It also applies to how we manage emotions and relationships. Before reacting in anger, for example, the art of measurement urges us to consider how our response may impact others and our own peace of mind. Crucially, this approach isn't about constant denial. It's about becoming intentional, learning to distinguish between what feels good in the moment and what truly serves us in the long run. 2. Take responsibility for your inner world. Plato famously stated, "For a man to conquer himself is the first and noblest of all victories." We all experience moments where we struggle to control our desires, thoughts, or actions. It can feel easier to blame external circumstances, society, other people, or even our own impulses. However, Plato rejected this notion. He believed that abdication of responsibility undermines human dignity. While external limitations, social, financial, or physical, may be real, Plato emphasized that we are not powerless. Each of us has the ability to assert our will and take ownership of our inner lives. To Plato, self-mastery is not only possible but essential to a meaningful existence. Being disciplined does not mean suppressing our desires entirely. Rather, it means aligning them under the guidance of reason, supported by the courage and energy of spirit. This alignment empowers us to live with intention, balance, and purpose. By practicing the art of measurement and embracing personal responsibility, we can begin to discipline the soul in the Platonic sense. It's not about perfection, but about striving for a harmonious inner life where reason leads, spirit supports, and appetite follows. As we explore these ancient ideas, we find that Plato's wisdom still speaks directly to the challenges of modern life, reminding us that the path to self-discipline begins not with control over the world, but with mastery of the self. Embracing limitations and cultivating willpower. While we may face real constraints, physical, social, or situational, Plato encourages us not to view ourselves as victims of circumstance, but as active participants in shaping our lives. Self-discipline, in this context, is not about denying limitations, but working within them to achieve personal excellence. Consider the example of someone aspiring to attain the physique of a supermodel or world-class bodybuilder. Such aspirations may confront natural limitations based on body type, metabolism, or genetics. Not everyone can become an Arnold Schwarzenegger or top fashion model, but that doesn't mean the effort is futile. According to Plato's philosophy, what truly matters is not achieving someone else's ideal, but striving to become the best version of yourself. This means embracing growth with a realistic mindset, recognizing your limits while continuing to make incremental, meaningful progress. Whether it's committing to a daily workout, waking up earlier, or establishing a consistent routine, these small habits reflect and strengthen the inner will, a deep-seated commitment to personal improvement and higher ideals. Plato viewed the will as the active force that allows reason to lead the soul. In this framework, self-discipline is the practice of consistently choosing long-term well-being over fleeting impulses. It's about steering the soul with intention, making decisions that align with our values rather than simply reacting to momentary desires or emotions. 3. Actively seek knowledge. Plato wrote, "Knowledge becomes evil if the aim be not virtuous." For him, knowledge is not simply a collection of facts or information. It is a tool, and its value depends entirely on how it is used. When guided by virtue, knowledge empowers us to make moral and meaningful choices. In Plato's view, virtue governs the rational part of the soul, which in turn should guide the spirit and appetite. To live a disciplined and morally upright life, we must nurture our intellect by seeking wisdom, not just for practical gain, but as a foundation for ethical living. How to cultivate knowledge and virtue. Engage with ethical literature, read books, articles, and philosophical texts that explore moral values such as courage, honesty, temperance, and justice. Stories and real-life examples can help translate abstract virtues into relatable, everyday practices. Learn from wise individuals. Seek mentors. Listen to experienced voices, whether in your personal circle or through digital platforms, and absorb their insights. Wisdom is often best passed down through thoughtful conversation and reflection. Ask questions and join discussions. Engage in thoughtful dialogue, whether in person or online. Asking meaningful questions helps clarify your values and sharpen your understanding of virtue. Use educational resources. Enroll in courses or attend workshops on philosophy, ethics, or personal development. These structured environments provide a framework to deepen your understanding and apply it in real life. Reflect regularly. Make it a daily practice to reflect on your actions, thoughts, and intentions. Ask yourself, did my choices today align with my values? Was I fair, kind, or courageous when it mattered? Discuss moral topics. Talk with friends, family, or peers about ethical issues. Engaging with diverse perspectives helps refine your own understanding and strengthens your moral compass. This process of acquiring knowledge and virtue is not a one-time event. It is a lifelong pursuit. True self-discipline involves continually aligning your behavior with your ideals, learning from your experiences, and striving toward moral and personal excellence. Conclusion: the path to self-mastery. Plato's teachings show that self-discipline is not about suppression, but about harmonizing the different parts of the soul, reason, spirit, and appetite. By practicing the art of measurement, taking responsibility for your growth despite limitations, and actively seeking knowledge guided by virtue, you set yourself on a path of genuine transformation. Remember, self-discipline is not rigid control. It's a form of inner leadership, steering your soul toward what is truly good. And you don't need to aim for radical change all at once. Small, consistent actions, rooted in purpose and guided by wisdom, are what shape a meaningful and fulfilled life. If you found value in this message, we invite you to explore our philosophies and subscribe for more videos that share the timeless wisdom of the world's greatest thinkers. Thank you for watching.